A couple of butterflies. You want to get the butterfly?
Well, there's one very close to me.
Yeah, it's a land. Getting close now. My wife had the butterfly garden on the roof of our co-op, and she had 2 buddleia bushes there, and the butterflies would come and nectar, and they were just so beautiful. But one day in the fall, I looked outside and Park Avenue, and I saw some things flitting by. I stick my neck out and looked north, and it turns out there were swarms of monarchs flying down from Canada, and that turned out to be the flyway. I had produced a Audubon video guide for beginners and butterfly gardening with Jim Ebner and Peter Kreutzer and Paul Oppler, and I really fell in love with butterflies. They're beautiful. The lake, the beautiful park just below 110th Street in Harlem, gorgeous lake, gorgeous flowers, and I first started giving demonstrations of the cycle of the monarchs and their biology and tagging it for the kids there. And then they were just terrific, and they were so excited. And the teachers were also. And then we moved to the Belvedere Castle, which was a more central venue. We did it there. Got a lot of press from all over the world coming there. Even far away as Germany and all over, and they were very fascinated by the subject. And then I was asked to do it for the Homeless Coalition for Shelter on 81st Street, and then the people from Ronald McDonald asked me to build a butterfly garden, which I did on their terrace, and that was gorgeous for the summer. The people would sit there and see the beauty of it, smell it. We would put in larvae, which were wiggling around. Those larvae would start eating the leaves, and then they would go into caterpillars, and the caterpillars would shed, and on and on. Having some contact with the Parks Department and giving these presentations up at Harlem and at the Belvedere Castle, I said, hey, how about let me have a little bit of land, and I'll put a gorgeous butterfly garden at my expense and my labor. No, you won't have to do anything. So there was a debate back and forth between the Parks Department and the Conservancy. They were back and forth, and finally they had to get rid of me, and they gave me some land. The first year I spent several $1,000s getting it started. I got buckets. And then every year I go to North Creek Nursery in Pennsylvania, recommended by the Conservancy, biologist Bill Berliner, who's retired. And I order in, I try to change the variety. I try to say which ones will survive. I spend about every year $300, $400, or $500 on replenishing plants. So added up, I probably put in over $15,000, which is my honor, and my labor, and my heart, and my love, real love. I used to carry 8.5 lengths of hose from this box, which the original guy made for me, tied to a sprocket there up the hill, but that was in 2000, and I'm going to be 83 next week, so that was like over 17 years ago. And then I was maybe in my early 70s or late 60s, but I had enough strength to do it. I did it for quite a few years by myself, and then I got a couple of friends to help me out. Joel Dorn, who was a music producer who did some very famous songs, and my Israeli engineer friend Ron Eisenberg. We've used private volunteers all these years. What happens is, I'm working on the butterfly garden, people walk by and love it, and I say, well, would you like to help us? So we've met a bunch of lovely butterfly and flower lovers of gardens, and hopefully they will continue it. The conservancy has been wonderful in helping me water it. And in the spring, I asked to put some fertilizer around the buddleia, and they put chips or mulch around, and they're very kind about that. From mid-June through late August, early September is a place where I invite people to bring a loaf of bread, a jug of wine, some cheese, with a good friend.